Yes. Dr. Mindy in the house. All right.
I appreciate that.
The carnivore diet.
Because of what we eat.
Honestly, you've really touched my heart.
What is causing everybody to have a leaky gut?
Great question. So, I've talked about in all of my books, starting with the Plant Paradox, what I call the 7 deadly disruptors. And in the energy paradox, I talk about the 7 deadly energy disruptors. And number 1 is actually the same in both lists, and that is antibiotics. Broad spectrum antibiotics. Broad spectrum antibiotics were introduced literally 50 years ago. And they were miraculous because docs like me used to have to try to figure out, okay, what bacteria is giving you this problem? We had to culture it, we had to isolate it, and then we would prescribe the appropriate antibiotic. Now, when broad spectrum antibiotics came out, it was like we were all given, AK-47s and shotguns, and we didn't have to do any of this. We just go, bleh, and we would kill everything, and we'd go, wow, this is miraculous. Little did we know that we were also killing all of our gut microbiome, those hundreds of thousands of trillion bacteria that live in our gut that actually protect the lining of our gut from the things we eat. The other things we had no idea was that most of the antibiotics produced in the world are fed to animals to make them grow faster and fatter. And those antibiotics remain in the flesh of the animals. So even if we've never taken an antibiotic in our life, those antibiotics get into us when we eat animals that are from factory farms. And unfortunately, because of loopholes in FDA laws, even though, for instance, right now it's illegal to feed chickens antibiotics, if the veterinarian who is paid by the big agriculture company thinks that one chicken out of those 100,000 chickens is sick, he's allowed to dose the entire 100,000 chickens with antibiotics because he's worried about that one chicken.
Right.
And there's some recent studies looking at even organic chickens. About 60% of them have antibiotic traces when you actually look at them because of this loophole. Millennials are actually the first group of human beings who have, throughout their lives, been continuously exposed to Roundup and antibiotics.
So what are we seeing in them?
Well, we see fatigue, we see brain fog, we see depression,